To the Vault Excel. Hope you all are well. Let's get down to business. Three-part live. We're going to talk about P. Diddy, all this nonsense going on outside the court, crazy spirit boxes. We're also going to talk about Donald Trump freeing the Chrisley'S, a bunch of BS. Also, Larry Hoover, his sentence has been commuted, but he also has to face still the 200 or so years pertaining to murder. And then Elon Musk, he has left the building. He had an issue with some things that Donald Trump was still trying to do as far as spending. He was trying to cut costs at about $2 trillion. And I believe Mr. Trump was trying to add 2 trillion or so to something. Go Google it, because I ain't about to go through all that mathematician stuff, but we're going to talk about it. Welcome to the Vault Excel. Let's start with the trial pertaining to Sean Puffy Combs. I believe we're on day 12. Wait a minute. 10, 11, 12. Okay. What the hell is wrong with you people out here? Okay? What the hell is wrong with you people out here? Yes, we are all entitled to our opinion pertaining to who we like, don't like, what's going on with Sean Puffy Combs. I'm going to show you this fella here. He's a YouTuber. Dalen Spratt is his name. Dalen, let Queen talk to you for just a second. I went through your itinerary, and here it shows on your channel you like going to grave sites with spirit boxes, talking to the dead. I guess you like going to haunted houses, that type of thing. That's your bag, that's your business. But this is serious business. This is a trial about a creep, a predator. And you going to this dead woman's grave, really? With a spirit box? With all the gossip and he said, she said pertaining to Kim Porter, Sean, Cassie, Pookie, Ray Ray, Bubba, you're going to sit outside this beautiful place. They have a wonderful, gorgeous looking tombstone for her. And you're going to sit out there and put a spirit box. And what the spirit box tell you? Yeah, I don't really like talking about other YouTubers because it brings a lot of static. But hey, since everybody else is wanting to get ignorant, I can get ignorant too. Boo-boo, why are you doing that? That lady is dead. And there has been controversy pertaining to an alleged book, manuscript, that she wrote, didn't write, allegedly. Children upset about that, denying the book. Friend coming out speaking pertaining to this book, this and that, P. Diddy, all this nonsense with trial. And you want to go sit at her grave with a box that man made that came from China. I said that. A man-made box that ain't telling you nothing about what that dead woman said. You better off just going to a psychic, a well-known psychic, and ask her what she thinks Kim Porter has to say about everything going on with Sean's trial. So what I caught in the first few seconds of that, because I wasn't about to sit through that because I know it's BS, she said, allegedly, a dead woman, he's trying to hurt us. Hurt whom? She already dead. Come on with it, Queen. How's he gonna hurt her? She already did. Her name is being hurt with this type of foolishness, such as you sitting at her gravesite with a spirit box. Allegations of a book, don't know if it's true or not, manuscript, don't know if it's true or not, I don't know. But I feel like this, she could have released it when she was alive. If she didn't, then she didn't. So what I'm supposed to believe, on her deathbed, she told somebody, hey, put this book out here. We don't know, right? Because she's dead. So we can't ask her. And all this foolishness, like what you're doing here, sitting at her gravesite, is bullshit to me. All y'all sitting outside that courtroom arguing and fussing, that other little YouTuber, I knew he was a little pussyfoot. When I saw him talking, I said, oh, I'm going to check him out. So I went to his little YouTube page today. Or late this morning, I went and looked. And once I heard that potty mouth, you know, because Queen get a little potty too, okay? But anywho, when I heard that potty mouth, I said, oh, that's not the same little YouTuber that's outside the courtroom trying to talk about why he wanted to ask Gene Deal a question. Gene Deal don't owe you no explanation about nothing, baby. Do you understand? And let me free you out this chat, because I'm not I'm not trying to hear nothing about Sean Puffy Combs, baby. Today's about to be a short day, so get your ass some business. Anyhow, I was rudely interrupted. Gene Deal don't owe nobody no explanation about nothing. Whatever he did at his time with Puffy, that's between him and God. I hope Gene Deal hasn't done anything nefarious or aided Sean in any type of foolishness, bribery, cumfuckery, or whatever. Excuse my language. That just slipped out my mouth. I'm sorry, but you understand what I'm saying. You judge people accordingly. So you either like Gene or you don't. But you running up to that man outside that courtroom, he trying to get into the courthouse. He not trying to talk to you about nothing. I'm a big YouTuber. I'm a big YouTuber. No, MF, a big YouTuber will be somebody who's got about 500,000 subscribers, 100,000 subscribers. That's what we consider big to some of us. Do you understand? I don't have to chill, baby. You keep coming and you're going to get removed, okay? Stop messing the flow up, okay? Thank you. Baby, spirit box holders, don't do that. Don't do that. That's disrespectful to that dead lady and her family, okay? Yep. Obviously not enough. I'm sitting up here in the early daylight doing a YouTube video. How about that? I'm not in Paris eating chocolates. That's how much I make from YouTube. Anyway, since I've been so rudely interrupted, that's disrespectful to be at that dead woman's grave. And you people out there running up on people that's trying to go to the trial or go into the courthouse, leave those people alone. They don't owe you an explanation about anything. If they want to talk to you, they'll stop and they'll talk. I see that one of his sons, took a photograph of one of these young ladies. She's hooping and hollering like it was Michael Jackson that just walked up on the scene. Hell, Michael Jackson, he did. She's hollering and screaming, oh my God, honey. You act like that was a P. Diddy that just walked into the courthouse. What the hell is wrong with you people? You know what? You know how you check yourself to make sure you're doing what you're supposed to be doing in life? You watch other people. You watch other people. So that's what I've been doing. Sitting watching these people, watching another YouTuber's video, watching the progress of the people, coming and going. And I'm looking at how the people are acting outside of the courtroom. You have your professionals who are there to be paid on a contract to take photographs, interview. Then you got people doing what I do who ain't on no contract. You freestyling. Ain't no way in the world I'm here to go over there and waste my coins and coins somebody donate to me to go stand out here and argue with random strangers about Sean Puffy Combs. Well, why would I do that? There is no way I'm going to stand out there and argue with Gene Deal or nobody. Fool. Everybody know he worked for the man. What's your point? Oh, he was at the Intercontinental Hotel. Well, were you there? No, you weren't there because you probably somewhere laid up with a full-grown man. I said that. I read it. As soon as I saw him talking up there on that screen, I said, this ain't nothing but some sugar. This ain't nothing but a box of sugar. Want 5 minutes of attention. Trying to act all polite and proper like he graduated from Harvard. But then when he gets back to his hotel room or wherever the hell he crawled out from, he's cussing and fussing and raising sand. See? Night and day. Night and day. Puffy trial. Mr. Deonte, Nash. Basically, his testimony is about his dealings with Sean and Cassie. His rundown is just, yes, Sean was abusive, is abusive. He's watched him beat up the girl, blackmail her, threatened to send videos to her parents to get them fired. So that's blackmail. So now we go from testimony of, I need money from the mother, call the mother, ask for the money, she go get the money, she gets a line of credit. Then they give her the money back once he and Cassie get back together. Now we're hearing from another person, oh yeah, he was trying to get her parents fired. This shows you how crazy this thing is. He's crazy. And then I was watching some videos today of him talking all polite and yeah, I wasn't really trying to get into nothing. You know, I'm from Harlem and I really didn't want no trouble. Well, it looks like to me, Sean, that's all you've been doing is wanting trouble. See, you talking like that in front of the camera because they don't know what you have been doing behind closed doors, which is bribing people, blackmailing people, beating up people, dragging people, punching people, shoving people. You weren't going to tell that in that video. You know, you all up on somebody's podcast trying to act like, yeah, I was just, you know, trying to be cool about whoop-de-woo-woo-woo line. Because little did you know that as soon as he left out of there, he probably was dragging somebody down a flight of stairs once he got off that damn interview. He's vile. And that's what you have this Mr. Deonte testifying, that he witnessed this man being brutal to Cassie Ventura. He did intervene. So far, they're saying he's the only person that has testified that witnessed abuse, that actually intervened, jumped on Puffy's back during a scuffle of him attempting to abuse Cassie, and that's that. So basically, that's what you're hearing. This goes into the RICO status, because everybody's confused about what RICO really means. Most of these people obviously have gotten some type of immunity if they aided in any fashion, which means procuring drugs, carrying drugs, holding the drugs, storing the drugs. That's a crime. And you've heard that on probably a few other networks. That is a crime. And I think most of you know that's a crime. You cannot have drugs in your possession. You can't hold it. You can't store it. You can't carry it anywhere. You can't go buy it for your boss, Sean. And we learned that as well with Miss CC. I call her CC, Miss Clark. She procured drugs for him, made sure to put it in his little to-go bag for the freak-offs, packed cameras, drinks, different things, basically doing what another assistant testified to his testimony last week. So basically, she was doing the same thing. Where a lot of people have problems with her, it might be a little bit of fudging of some things that she said this week, but so far, everybody's testimony is like coinciding with the last person, with the last person, with the last person. They all were involved to some degree. Who's next to be on the chopping block to testify? We hear that one woman is missing. Why she's not testifying and where she is, I don't know. But this is getting ridiculous. Because my thing is, if you're not going to testify, then you need to just tell the court that you're not going to testify. Ain't no need to having people keep calling, banging on doors, trying to find you. And as Mr. Gene Deal said, if the feds want you bad enough, they know how to find you. Exactly. Big Brother is everywhere. And now that we have all this face recognition, camera work in airports, regular cameras around the town, the cities, you don't know where you're going to be, where they might tap you on your shoulder and be like, excuse me, miss, you need to come with me. And she going to be like, I be damned, they found me. Hell yeah, we found you at Starbucks. Who you think we are? I'm Big Brother, okay? You better recognize. This case is bringing out the worst of people. And I must say at 54, I see how bad we as citizens have become. We are unhinged. We pop off. We get mad over stupid stuff. We're vengeful. We're delusional. And I saw all that yesterday with those people standing outside that damn courthouse. I said, this is what madness looks like. This is what it sounds like. Watching random people claiming to be bloggers, podcasters, whomever, arguing with random strangers, running up to strangers, talking about Sean in a picture. Nobody gives a fuck. Like they say, bring a receipt. You think Mr. Gene Deal did this? You think this person did this? Bring a receipt. You can't get mad because somebody likes Gene Deal or somebody is supporting Gene Deal or some other YouTuber or somebody else affiliated with Sean Puffy Combs. The point is you were not around Sean Combs. That's the point. You don't know him from a can of paint. You don't know the people who work for Sean from a can of paint. You are an outsider looking in. And basically that's where you need to fucking stay, is outside. I said that. And that's coming from Queen, the only queen on YouTube. How about that? Stay in your damn place. See, this is what happens with people who have been afforded the opportunity to run their mouth, such as what I do up here. You get beside yourself and you think you're entitled to some information. You're not entitled to shit. It don't matter if you CNN, Court TV, Oxygen Network, Netflix producer, you are not entitled to nothing. Don't nobody owe you an interview. Don't nobody owe you nothing. So you standing outside with your little $600 iPhone, don't nobody care? And you showing how stupid you look. Just running up to people and arguing. Like the one dude that took his little skull cap thing off and he was just hollering and screaming and patting his head. And then he had to think about what he was going to say. And I was sitting there thinking, you know why you sitting there doing this? Because you know you look like a fool standing out there arguing with people about absolutely nothing. I've asked people last night when I went out, I asked a few men, what you think about Puff Diddy? Some gave their opinion, some didn't. I didn't get an attitude because you didn't want to answer or respond. You gave a quick response, whether I liked it or not. I didn't argue because I'm not getting ready to argue about Sean. I stand on what I stand on pertaining to Sean Puffy Combs. I think he's vile. I think he is a demon. I think he's Satan's spawn. Yes, I do. I believe Satan is walking the earth in the flesh, using people. Sean is one of those people. And yes, we're all flawed. We have all done wrong. But there comes a point when you have to own your shit. You got to say, yeah, I fucked up. Yeah, I've done wrong. Yeah, I should have been doing that. He ain't in that place. He don't own nothing. And you can tell right there sitting in that courtroom, even with just them drawings, while them folks been sitting up there testifying this week, you can see he's staring off into space with that little feminine man sitting up there talking. No disrespect to you, but I already knew what time of day it was when they started talking about how flamboyant he came in there and talking about how good he looked in the photograph. Boo-boo, this is serious. Tell your story and get your ass off that stand. I said that. Because a lot of people think this is a joke. This is not a joke, okay? This is not a joke. Hold on a minute. A riot? Who gonna riot? They didn't riot when R. Kelly got arrested. They didn't riot when Bill Cosby got found guilty. When Bill got found guilty, R. Kelly got found guilty. Who rioted? Now, we might riot if somebody decides to pardon Derek Chauvin. Shut your mouth. Some people. I don't want to put I in there. Some people might riot if Derek Chauvin gets pardoned. Let me throw that out there. Because that's what I'm afraid of next with all these damn pardons. And we're going to get to that here in just a second, too. But no, seriously. The behavior of people now with all this free speech, podcasting, it's out of control. Going live. God has given us the opportunity to give a voice to the voiceless, speak our peace, our truths, our lies, our buffoonery, and it's out of control. And what I saw outside that courtroom yesterday is sad to me. That you go and be seen on a camera hooping and hollering over a man who's been linked to having sex with children. Let me straighten your ass out. Queen can do that. Because I earn my keep in life. You outside arguing over a pedophile, a man who likes to beat up people, call people dirty names, women specifically, bribe, blackmail, bomb a car, breaking and entering, and God knows what else. Because that's the one thing a lot of commentators have been saying about Sean this week. What else are we going to hear exactly? We're supposed to have 5 more weeks of this nonsense. 5 more weeks. Can you imagine what else is going to jump out of a hat in 5 more weeks? Because that's a long time. That's over a month from now. 5 weeks of coulda, woulda, shoulda, he did this, he said this. I don't think I can listen to 5 more weeks of this nonsense. Because right now, it's just bullshit. It's bullshit that we have to even be listening to people testify about what this man has done illegal to other citizens and he's never stood account for his behavior. Because at some point, the average Jane, would have been arrested. Somebody would have got a recorder, taped the person, bribing them with videos, photos, took it to a judge, took it to the detective, took it somewhere. Not him. All this nonsense about evidence card. The defense wanted a mistrial, for those who didn't know, saying he tampered with evidence. Well, somebody tampered with it. And so now they're probably looking to LAPD. See, now you see it's getting deeper than just these people going in and testifying. Allegations he blew up this man's car, Kid Cudi, and broke in his house. You took somebody there, which is kidnapping. If you want to believe that's kidnapping. So now somebody's going to have to investigate the police department, because now somebody's got to explain Kid Cudi hiring somebody to go in with these cards to run fingerprints from his house, and poof, voila, the evidence card disappears. Linked to a famous person. Bad Boy Entertainment vehicle near the crime scene. So just out of the blue, your truck's just riding by Kid Cudi's house. Emails, conversations of Cassie talking about she's caught, Sean's upset, he's found out, she stupidly gave his address, which is foul as fuck to me. Foul. And Alex, fine, you should be sitting around thinking about who you've been laying with. Yeah, I'm gonna go and say that. Check out my shorts in the YouTube queue. You laying with a woman that gave a man's address to another man. And so right now, you're probably sitting wondering to yourself, well, why Sean Puffy Combs ain't came after me? Checkmate. You see, the reason why Sean ain't came after you, if it's true, is because he realized he had lost Cassie to you, that she had moved on. But what you need to understand is that she settled for you, and I do believe that. And I'm not saying you ain't a good guy, nice guy. It's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is she was still canoodling with you and him. And she never gonna tell us the whole truth, how many times she really kept messing with Sean up until Kim Porter's death. Come on, preach, Queen. She let the world know, well, I was done with Sean when he said that Kim Porter was his soulmate. Now, how the fuck would that make Alex Fine feel? Did she ever tell Alex that? Well, I'm only with you because you're the next best thing, and he really cares more for this dead woman over here. Well, we already know he didn't care for none of y'all because he was canoodling with all of y'all at the same damn time. Sure do. Just ate 2 today. How about that? He was canoodling with Kim and Cassie at the same time, for what they're saying, and all that's confusing. You know why it's confusing? Which it really ain't. I just saw a picture today of Puffy, Cassie, and Kim, and somebody else in a photograph, like they were at some function. So, you know, Queen was sitting here thinking to herself, like, okay, what the hell is this all about? How far along was he in with Kim or Cassie? Because that's the word on the street now, is that he was still canoodling around with Kim when Cassie came into the picture and he started canoodling with her. We learned a lot from CC, that allegedly this girl didn't have no talent. She didn't perform well on stage. She also felt like Cassie didn't want her to be working for Sean Puffy Combs. And of course, we learned that she was mistreated as well. First day working for Sean, she had some issues, violence, threats, allegations of stealing jewelry, had to go to a warehouse to be interrogated with a lie detector test, which makes no fucking sense to me. And yes, people are going to judge these ladies because they're going to say at some point, I mean, even the men too, the personal assistants, you could have bowed out, you could have left. Who goes and work for a person the first day and start getting berated because you work for Suge Knight? See, that didn't make any sense. And Puffy had every right to question you, your loyalty. Because if I was him, I'd be wondering why the enemy's friend, a ex-employee over here on the East Coast trying to work for me. You do have to admit that's strange, Miss Clark. The stranger part of the story is the fact that Suge Knight has been on News Nation, and he never mentioned that he knew you in a personal manner. He mentioned you breaking out somebody's car window and all that type of nonsense, but he never said he knew you like baby mama, sister, cousin, friend type situation, which I found that interesting. So I don't really know what the truth is about how these two really knew each other. And that's the one thing you're going to have to understand about this type of street shit. This is all street drama to me. People with a little money, but they got street ways. You ain't going to get the whole truth to nothing. So that's the testimony you've heard this week. Capricorn Clark, her abuse, witnessing abuse with Cassie, going back and forth, working for him, allegedly had a crush at some point, sent it in an email, letter, whatever. It's all becoming white. And I think some of my fans are probably realizing that. Queen is losing interest in this story. I am. Because I have a lot of other things going on with me personally, and I just don't have the time to sit here and invest every day on this nonsense. Because to me, this could have been avoided. All these people sitting in a courtroom day for day testifying about this fool when somebody should have bucked up to him and gave his ass the business. One good whoop ass, we wouldn't be talking about this today. Because that usually puts most people in their place. It's a good ass whooping. And that's something Sean didn't get. So I'm trying to figure out what y'all been waiting on. And I think in his mind, he thinks he's going to get off. In his mind, he thinks he's going to get off. But as they're saying, one charge is enough to put his ass down. Talk about drug charges, gun charges. So even if they don't do racketeering and human trafficking, you still got the prostitution charge, which they've proven that he has engaged in prostitution. Even if they don't say, well, he took somebody from place to place and coerced them into, he flew them from here to there. It is against the law to pay for sex. So everybody that's running around talking about, oh, there's nothing wrong with paying somebody to get on an airplane and paying a girl to go along here with you. That is not what the hell the charge is. Your friend jumping on an airplane and going to a hotel with you. You know what prostitution is. And you know in most states, it is against the law to pay another human being for sex. Ding, ding, ding. And if you're trafficking them, forcing them, whether it's in the same state, same city, another state, that is also against the law. So I think the state's proven the prostitution charge, engaging in prostitution. And I guess you can go ahead and say engaging in transportation, prostitution. They've proven that. So now you got the drugs and the guns. What you gonna do about that? Because you already know you're gonna really get it stiff. Drugs in the house and guns in the house at the same time, confiscated at the same time. And then, ain't nobody talking about this but Queen. Did you have children staying in your house, living in your house? Because I thought he had custody of his girl children. Ding, 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 ding. For the dodo birds that don't pay attention. You had guns and drugs in your house and had children. Freak-offs in your house, you had children. So now we're talking about a human services issue. Uh-oh, Queen. School them. Because somebody's slow in the back. Now you're talking about children. And that ain't including the allegations that he slept with children over the years. Anybody listening? Okay. That's the latest. Deonte Nash testifying pertaining to his involvement with Sean, Cassie. He witnessed firsthand abuse. He intervened on one occasion, jumping on Sean's back, running with Cassie to hide from Sean Puffy Combs. And a few people are saying this is bad. This is really bad. And I don't think he's lying. I don't think anybody that has testified is lying about their interactions with Sean Puffy Combs. And let me clarify something about the Muslim dressing that he had on with the Punisher, the stripper. The Punisher is publicly apologizing to Cassie, if you've not heard that latest information. If he's hurt her in any way, he is publicly apologizing to her. I don't know if she feels like that he has done anything to harm her. We'll see if she replies. but Alex said they wouldn't be responding to anything, so that's a whole nother subject. Also, Cassie has given birth to a boy. If you had not heard that information, she has given birth to a baby boy. The Punisher has publicly apologized to her, a man who engaged in sex with her many moons ago. I had made a comment the other day about the Muslim dressing, Sean in the corner with the Muslim dressing. And I said, well, you know, the Muslim dressing is all of this covered all the way down to the ankles because women are not supposed to show any body parts in the Muslim dressing. So he clarified everything for the queen. He said to the reporter, Nancy Grace, he had the burqa on, face covering down to here, but everything down, he was stark naked, touching himself. So I thought about that because I had said during the live, I said, how was he wearing a Muslim dressing and then touching himself? And so the Punisher has clarified. It was just up here. His face was covered with the burqa, but everything else down, I guess neck down, chest down, whatever, he was naked, which is so disrespectful to the Muslim faith to even be wearing that burqa. He's out of damn line. He's out of damn line. He's out of line. Save the religious talk. I'm not interested. Okay, I'm talking business. So carry that on somewhere. I'm not trying to talk religion or anything else. I'm just repeating what was said in court. You can tell people that's bored, can't you? You can tell what folks ain't got nothing to do. Anyway, everybody, recapping court, day 11, 12, today's 12. I'll be back to bring you day 12 when they're done with court. But I just wanted to talk about the buffoonery pertaining to this case, social media, all of that, because social media is also a part of this nonsense. The fact, like I said, the guy who I found today on YouTube sitting at Kim Porter's grave with a spirit box. Obviously, this is what he does on his YouTube channel. He goes to grave sites to commune with the dead, which I still think is just disrespectful because I don't believe in that spirit box nonsense. I just don't. Now, if you've been given a gift of intuition, discernment, which I feel like I've been given the gift of discernment, but I can't tell you what's going to happen tomorrow. But I do get little inklings about things, such as last week, I dreamt about a plane crashing here in Knoxville. And then days later, the plane went down in San Diego. Okay? Call it what you want. Happened months ago. Had to dream about the airplane crashing, and then the plane crashed in DC. But as far as me telling you lottery numbers and what's going to happen to you tomorrow, I ain't got that type of intuition. Trials, famous people bring out the worst in people. And that's the point I'm making in this video. It's that yesterday, today, whatever, until this mess is over with, you all are cuckoo. When did you ever know people to reach out to people in true crime? I want you to think about that. Now with this podcasting business, TikTok, all this type of stuff, YouTube and whatever, we go find people, go in their inbox, IG, Facebook. Hey, I want to talk to you. Hey, I want to ask you a question. 20, 30 years ago, we didn't do this. You saw a story on the news where somebody got arrested for sexual assault, murder, whatever. You didn't go in their inbox because they didn't have an inbox. All you had maybe was their address. But you sure as hell didn't go knock on their door and say, hey, I'd like to talk to you. I'd like to know, why did you do this? Is it true that you did it? Do you see where I'm going? Now with social media and iPhones and cameras, everybody's running to the courthouse, the person's address, where they work, with a cell phone to talk to people, to ask questions. And I will admit, I'm guilty, but I know my place. When I feel like it's unwarranted, the people don't want to talk, whatever, I don't continue to pursue. I don't get unruly. I don't start yelling and screaming and hollering and using profanity. I get the hell on. I don't keep trying to track them down and go to this person and that person. I'll let somebody else do that. Because in the end, people pick and choose who they want to talk to and give a story to. But what I'm trying to say is, many moons ago, we didn't have this going on. All this acting a damn fool and showing out with cell phones and cameras. That's my point. Everything you're seeing outside of the courtroom pertaining to Sean Puffy Combs is a disgrace. This black guy who has a YouTube channel with a spirit box at a dead woman's gravesite is a disgrace. She's dead. Dalen Spratt, Kim Porter is dead. Okay? She's dead. So you go into her grave with a spirit box, to me, is disrespectful under the circumstances of what is currently going on. She don't have a dog in the race. The dog she had with Sean is gone. They're not together. She's dead. They really weren't together when she became sick, ill, whatever, died. So you at her gravesite asking her, tell us what you think, sounds ridiculous, and it's just disrespectful. The rest of you out there outside that courthouse, running up to people, running up to Gene Deal, running up to this person, man, leave them folks alone. They don't want to be fucking bothered, so get your ass something to do. You too old for that. You look like a damn fool. I said that. Queen said it. You can come for me. Because I got better things to do with my time besides running around, standing outside of a public building, making a fool out of myself with a fucking cell phone, arguing with strangers that I don't know nothing about, and I don't know that man that's on trial in there. And what we're seeing, Sean is fucking foul. So accept it. You sitting here talking about who's a victim, who's really a victim. You keep fucking around, you're going to end up a victim. You're going to end up a victim. You in New York, baby, it would be nothing to snip, snip, clip, clip your little wings. Shoe, fly, shoe. And you won't be making no YouTube videos. I said that. So keep messing around with these folks, running up in these folks' faces and talking crazy. Because obviously you want 5 minutes of fame from a YouTube video. This is what I'm talking about, where some of you need to sit on down. Donald Trump. He has freed the Chrisley'S. Oh boy, what a mess, what a travesty. So basically they don't have to pay back any of the money they owe, which is $17 million. The daughter is saying, Savannah, they ain't done nothing wrong. They ain't done nothing wrong. I don't believe they did anything wrong. Well, she told Juju Chang for ABC. They ain't done nothing wrong. Well, so you want us to believe the government just picked out your parents out of all the millions of people in America to say they didn't pay their taxes and that they went to the banks, say it again, Queen, not a bank, banks, plural, and lied about their income and got $30 million worth of loans. Okay. You believe that? You believe the IRS and the banks made a mistake? Because the IRS ain't the same as a bank. That's two separate entities. Savannah, Todd, Julie. So you want me, a 54-year-old woman, to say different banks forged your names on loans from their banks, and then the IRS just so happened to also make up documents that you ain't paid your taxes. Out of how many people that live in America? All these different banks are lying on you, and the IRS, they lying too. But neither know each other. So now with Trump pardoning you, you ain't got to pay the $17 million back. You two ain't got to do your prison sentences of 19 years combined. And then you also get to petition for the money back that you didn't pay. So basically you're going to be able to get back what you stole. How the fuck is that right? And yet somebody want to say, oh, this was a targeted situation. They were chosen because they're famous and they were reality stars. Huh? What fucking planet are you people from? The government goes after you no matter who you are. You owe them your taxes. They don't care if you a farmer, you Jewish, you white, you black, Hispanic, butcher, banker, candlestick maker. You owe us the money, and we want it, hunty. You want somebody to believe that an IRS worker in a little cubicle was just typing in his or her computer and said, oh, I'm going to choose these two people to doctor up documents to say they owe us money because they're on reality TV. Are you serious? And we got this bobblehead in the White House who was freeing anybody that's a fucking Republican and giving them a free pass to walk, such as them fools that bum rushed the fucking Capitol. Now one of them is back in the Maryville jail for threatening the FBI agents. Mr. Trump can't get you out of that, bro. And he's sitting here quoting Bible scriptures and all of that. Those scriptures can't help you because you ain't even worthy. I said that. Now, God may say, not queen, that's my child. You right, that's your child. He ain't mine. You're being blasphemous, quoting scriptures after you threatening government agents. And Trump can't get you out of that, bro. Okay? And so Trump is saying, well, I'm letting go people that's supporters of me. No. You pushing anybody that says they're a fucking Republican. That's what you're doing. And it's foul. Okay? It's foul. Because those folks committed crimes. Not just with one entity, but banks and the IRS. They owe back taxes for about 3 years or so. And also, they forged documents lying about their income to get $30 million in loans. So, therefore, they have committed a crime, says the law. So you freeing them is basically saying, well, we've already thought about you anyway, blockhead. You were crook and you didn't mind freeing some crooks. Just like you freed that former Virginia sheriff who was arrested for fraud, bribery. Birds of a feather flock together. So this is my take on it. Since you want to free every motherfucker that's committed a crime, fraud, bribery, and as the daughter says, it's white collar, and the time needs to be allotted per the crime. So basically, she's saying if it's a white collar crime, you should be able to walk free. What did she say? Savannah saying, oh, why spend $60,000 on locking somebody up? Because they broke the law, bitch. That's why. You don't get to get a fucking free pass because it's a white collar crime. Theft is theft. Fraud is fucking fraud. They lock you up if you stole something out of Walmart, if it's a pair of socks or a $5 necklace. Okay, well, what you got to say about that? Well, no, don't lock them up. It's just $5. Oh, it's a hit and run. Don't lock them up. It's too much money trying to house them. So my thing is how far you want to take it. White collar, it's no big deal. It's no big deal. It's just money. It's somebody's motherfucking money. And somebody else is out here huffing and scuffing to pay their taxes, pay their due bill. So the point is, you bounce your checks, they can send a warrant out for you from the sheriff, cookie. You defraud the government any type of way and lie on documents about your income, that's a crime, cookie. You don't pay your taxes, it's a crime, says the law. Don't mean we have to like it, cookie. You know what I think, Savannah? You didn't want to raise your brother and sister. You wanted to be free to date that other little fool you was dating whose wife tried to kill him. Yeah, queen going now. That's what this is about. You want to be free. That's why you want your mom and daddy out of jail. I ain't no double bird. Now, Elon Musk, so I can get out of here. Elon Musk is gone. He getting ready to go back to doing whatever the fuck he was doing with Tesla or whoever else. 4 months already, you leaving? Because him and Trump weren't eye to eye on the spending of America's money. What did I tell you all before about Donald Trump? Ain't nobody that lasted with that fool. I bet you right now he ain't got one good comrade from his past stint at the White House. And while that black woman, sitting up there when he was signing them papers to free the Chrisley'S, like them her damn relatives, I'm looking at her like, look at this fucking fool here. Oh, yeah. If you weren't working at that White House, black girl, and you was out here somewhere, Donald Trump wouldn't give a fuck about you if you got hit by a fucking car. And that's what a lot of black people need to understand that voted for Trump. He don't care about you. He don't care about black people. Let me make this clear. He don't care about black, browns, natives, foreigners. He don't even care about white people. Because a lot of white people that live in the United States, they broke as fuck and they ain't got no money and barely living, and he don't care nothing about them. So while y'all sitting up there waving flags and talk about make America great again, what you can really fucking do is help America fall, because she's falling by the wayside. Because a lot of people have been affected by that blockhead and all his executive orders since January. Regular people, whether they Democrat, Republican, have been affected by him. All this, oh, I don't want people going to work that ain't doing nothing. Let's cut costs, let's do this. Well, them people still thought they had a job. Now they working part-time, this and that. Now they telling them how many days of the year they can work. The shit is serious. Groceries going up, food going up, gas going up. Then you putting these tariffs on different countries, Mexico, Canada, China, wherever, when half of the shit we use, well, probably 90% of everything we use comes from over there. How you think it's gonna get here? It can't get here if China can't ship it, Mexico can't ship it, other countries can't ship it. So everybody needs to check themselves. This man is hideous. And he is showing you once again what he's made of. He don't care nothing about nobody. He don't even care about himself. But like I told somebody, baby, Trump gonna have a bad fucking day. And like I said, he better pray to God he is not aware of his faculties, that he has dementia, because one day somebody gonna have to wipe his ass. Somebody gonna have to give him a bath. Somebody gonna have to put him in a hover round, put him in a wheelchair, put up a walker to his chair. And he gonna get to sit and think about it when he's sitting in his own soiled ass diaper. I wasn't a good person. I didn't treat people well. I was in the White House and I dogged these people who looked up to me. These people were misled because they were blind because I'm blind. That's why they have that old saying, blind leading the blind. That's what you have here in the White House. A blind man leading more blind people. Because in the end, Trump don't give a fuck about you. Because in order to care about you, he would have to care about himself. And he has shown his vile behavior. He has no respect for women. He has a foul mouth. He's belligerent. He's ignorant. And he is uneducated. He is a fool. And a fool seeks out other fools. And that's what you have in this country. And frankly, this country is showing me you all are the same as your ancestors. Nothing has changed since freeing the black man and woman. I'm going to say that. Because you see, this country was derived on theft. This country wasn't discovered by a motherfucker, Columbus. There was somebody already here that you moved out of the way. And you ain't made no reparations to them folks. And then you went and stole some other folks and worked them for hundreds of years, and you ain't made no reparations for them either. And so everything you've seen in the country with all this messy Ken, messy Barbie, messy whomever, product of your ancestors. Self-entitlement. Me. I'm important. What I say go. I do what I want to do. It don't work like that. You're not going to have no good luck in life when you're only thinking about yourself and you're selfish and you feel entitled to mess and shit that don't concern you, stir up shit that don't concern you, wreak havoc on the civilians. You're going to pay for that at some point. And even though Trump is as old as he is, his day coming too. May not be in this life, but it'll be in the next life. He gonna get what's coming to him. Hello, Edward. Thank you for joining me. All right, darling. Well, you need to watch them from everywhere. Because it's the food. Oh, let's not forget about Canada. You think Canada is gonna let you come over there and steal their whole country? Are you crazy? Them folks ain't done nothing to us. They have been good neighbors to us. And now you want to go over there and stir the pot with the Canadians. Hell will break loose. You cannot steal Canada, Mr. Trump. Now, your ancestors may have stole America from the natives, but you ain't about to get Canada, boo-boo. You can forget that. This shows you this man is sick and he is vile. And anybody following in behind him, you just as stupid as he is. And I said it, and I don't give a fuck if you like it or don't. And if you unsubscribe, I still don't care, because what you eat don't make me fat. I tell it like it TI is, because somebody needs to tell you, you following Satan. That man is of the devil. And the devil is using him. He is a bitter bitch. He's mad about what happened when he was last in office, and he is making Americans pay. But in the end, it won't be us having to wipe his ass. And that's what he needs to know. That what you do in this life, come back to you 50 times fold, baby. He gonna pay. He gonna pay. He gonna get sick. He gonna be ringing a bell. Mabel, Mary, where are you? I need my diaper changed. I'm thirsty. I'm hungry. I can't breathe. Mabel, she's sitting somewhere watching Netflix. Or she might be outside sitting by a swimming pool. Shut your mouth. God don't like ugly. And God blessed him all these years to be alive. He could be doing something better with himself besides being a tyrant. And Sean Puffy Combs is no different, just a black version. God's blessed you 50-something years. He's given you wealth, money, clout, and look what you did with it. Just use people, abuse them, manipulated, con, and now your ass sitting on trial for your life. So that old saying about what goes around comes around, you damn right. You reap what you sow. And whether you believe in God, Allah, Catholic, Protestant, Jehovah's Witness, Latter-day Saint, the universe gonna get it back one way or the other. The universe is gonna get it back. And that's what people don't seem to understand. You got to give back what you stole. That's why I believe America is suffering, because she was derived from theft. And that's why she's paying now. Because you've been dirty and you have not stood a tone for what you've done. And it's in the scripture that the children will pay for their mother and father's sins. And that is what's happening to America. The bitch is paying. Because her inhabitants came and took over and stole and stole and stole and worked folks for free. And you can't reap from nothing stolen. It's only temporary. That's why this bitch is paying now. Because this is stolen land. And God is telling you, you ain't stood a tone. for what you stole. So I'm gonna make you pay. That's why you got Satan up there in the White House. So you keep following that motherfucker if you want to. He ain't none of mine. I'm a child of God first. So that's why I don't worry about what that motherfucker doing up there. And I ain't worried about Elon Musk. I ain't worried about nothing. Nobody doing with 2 feet. See, that's how you tackle Satan, honey. You don't give him what he wants. I don't care about a messy Ken, a messy Karen, a messy Barbie. I lead by faith. And hopefully you will too. Giving you the latest business. Sean Puffy Combs. I'll come back with the latest events from today. I will put some shorts in the queue to recap this week's testimonies. Elon Musk has left the White House and Trump has freed the Chrisley'S. Also, he has commuted Larry Hoover's sentence, but Mr. Hoover still facing state charges for murder. That's my commentary. Like, share, subscribe. Drop your comments below this video. Also follow me on the Newsbreak app. I don't know if I'll be able to continue my coverage with Sean Puffy Combs over there because my videos are not being uploaded in a timely fashion. So I don't know what's going on, but anyway, this is my platform. This is where I bring you the latest events. Also follow me on IG, bigsexy.71. And if you'd like to donate to this great network, $Big Angie 129 Cash App. Stickers and chats are always welcome during the live stream. Thank you for your time. And as us Black folks love to say, God got it. Amen. I'm out of here. Thank you for listening to the Vault XL.